Bole Baba Ki. Okay. Thank you very much for your hospitality. I am very happy to be here. My story with Babaji started when I was very young, like around 15 years old. And first time my yoga teacher showed me many pictures of the Guru that he had on the wall. And he told me to choose one to meditate on him. And I've seen the picture of Babaji, and I say, this is the Guru I would like to meditate on. And then he told me about him, how he appeared, and he didn't know much to tell me about his teaching. So I was basically focused on photograph and the feeling that I had. But I had a feeling that he can lead me through everything I have to go through my light side, through my dark side, through everything in this life I have to complete. And then I meditated on Babaji for 1 year, every day. And I asked him to tell me what is the purpose of my life. And then I had one, I think it was a daydream, actually, where I went outside of my body and far away outside of the planet Earth, and I just saw one net that is around the planet Earth, like a spider web, and it was very near Earth, not very far away from the surface. And that was a net of the human emotions and thoughts. And I felt very big regret that during my lifetime I didn't realize that I am something else than this net. And I felt in this space, outer space in the universe, I felt complete peace and silence and complete, like full existence, my full true existence. Like I'm just a unit of light and a unit of consciousness, and that is all I am, truly. And I felt so much myself. And then I realized that my purpose of life is to, while I am in the body, I have to realize that I'm not my emotions and my thoughts. And it looked very easy from the space. It looked absolutely unbelievable that I could have ever thought that I was that, you know. So that was a strong Babaji message in my very early age. And after that started a very dynamic life, because I didn't know what that means in everyday life. You know, what I should do or not do. So I had to leave a lot of things, as everybody of us, in order to go through this personality structure of emotions, of thoughts. I worked on myself a lot through many kinds of meditation and many kinds of events in life. And then I came, let's say I worked on my career, I was married, I did all these mostly things that we all have to go through. And at one moment, all the time I felt that I'm growing, that I'm purifying, that I'm becoming a better person, that I'm becoming more knowledgeable. But there was then one point, after 33 years after that meeting with Babaji's energy, there was one point where I felt that I did everything I can, and now I started to stagnate. And that I'm not developing anymore, but I wouldn't know what to do, because on the level that I am, with personality I have, I did everything I could. And at that moment I start to think about Babaji again, because I was meditating for him for 1 year, and then I left yoga for one period of time, and I left meditating on Babaji. And the second time when I was thinking about Babaji was when his picture somehow appeared in my room, and it was before I met my husband. And I realized that he actually connected me with my husband, because nobody knows how that photo happened to be at home. Maybe some guests put it there. And I remember showing my husband, look, like, this is Babaji, this is our connection. And for him that was strange, because he didn't personally have with Babaji anything. But I realized that this very important decision in my life was managed by Babaji. And then I realized that before that some important experiences were also blessed by Babaji, but it just materially didn't show in that way. But after all that, the moment came when all these experiences were completed, and thinking about Babaji, and I went to the internet, and I went to the YouTube to see videos of Babaji, to remind myself on Babaji. Because before I realized, when I first time saw photo, I knew that he was already left the body. He has already left the body, so I was thinking, well, there is no point going to the ashram. But now I was thinking, oh, I want to see Babaji again. I want to know what was his teachings. I want to know more details. I want to know where is his ashram, who are his devotees, you know, what's going on there. And I saw the video where Babaji was in a swinging chair, it was on the swing actually, and at that moment, my eyes just locked with his eyes, and some incredible peace and love just descended in my room. And I knew that something very extraordinary happened. And then I went to the website, I see where is the ashram, and I decided, like, in 7 days I will be there. I took the vacation, I had only 9 days. And I came to Haidakhan first time. That was in 2014. And then in these 9 days, I decided that I will do everything that Babaji was requiring devotees to do. From, you know, waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning, meditation, jap, arti, going to the duni. And I had no connection with all these rituals before. But I had such a strong will to do everything that Babaji, you know, put in this schedule. And I was a little bit frightened when I saw this schedule, if I would succeed to do all this, you know, because it's very requiring. I never did it before, even though I am quite I get inside the challenges easily. But this time I was really frightened, you know, how will I do this? Because, you know, like waking up 3 o'clock in the morning to go to Gautama Ganga river in the darkness, to bath in a very cold river, to go for arti that I never sang before, no Hindi, no Sanskrit, nothing, you know, and very long text. And where I felt really very happy and naturally that I belong was at the Duni. So I spent in the Duni the most time that I could, and I felt very like at home in the Duni. And and these 9 days were for me really dynamic, because I learned what Babaji was speaking, what people wrote about his words and his philosophy. There were things that I didn't agree with. There were things that were shocking to me. I will each afternoon come with this same book with a question: why you said this? Why you know, why is this like this or this? And then I will just open the book, you know, before rest time, and I will just open always one sentence that gives me the answer. And it was this kind of Baba miracle that was going on all the time. And I was quite brave. I had this kind of very deep feeling that I want to go through this in the right way. So it was a monsoon time, and there was not many other devotees, maybe just one other devotee. And I was alone with the Indian local people. And I went alone for this bathing, and it was a monsoon time, so sometimes it was raining and thunderstorms and all these things. And I went through some frightening experiences as well. But there in the Duni, one day I had a really deep wish to detach from everything I am not. I'm truly not. And that wish led to another deep dream, where Babaji took me outside of my, let's say, attachments in a certain way that I just completely changed. In these 9 days, I just changed completely. And when I came back home, my husband saw immediately that it's the same body and it's somebody else. And he was sometimes joking that I'm abducted by the aliens, you know. So that was this transformation that happened, and from that moment I could not think about anything else than just changing my life completely, going back to Haidakhan, and committing my life to discover and be in connection with my divine nature, like all the time, and to whatever mission I have to do or whatever I have to do from there, from that feeling, I will do. I mean, it will happen. But definitely I felt that I have to spend my life in what my dream told me, which is to truly feel that I'm outside of this little box, this personality box that we all live our lives in. When I left the ashram after 9 days, feeling was that it is very strange that I have to leave this place, because I completely belong to this place, to Haidakhan. And that the only reason maybe why people go somewhere is they have to live some other experience or something. But truly, I completely belong there. And before I left Haidakhan, I had chai with few local people and some very spiritual people as well. And they asked me if I wish to come back. And I said, oh yes, I wish very much. And they say, well, let's be it. And that was my last, you know, like chai. I took my bag, I felt so strange. I sat in this jeep and I went. The first morning, next morning, the only thing that was in my mind, I woke up, you know, early morning, like at 6 o'clock was early morning for this city life. And the only thought I had was, oh, I'm going to sing Aarti now. That is so wonderful. And so I first lived my daily life. I sang Aarti every morning and every evening. And that made my city life magical. I was in the energy that was like supported by the divine. So whatever happened to me before, I was very willpower person, and I was controlling everything, and I was managing everything by myself, because I came to the point where that is not possible anymore. I wanted, but it was not possible. This Aarti gave me this divine energy so I can surrender, and I can let the divine take over and manage all my small situations. Every problem that I had, and on the job I had some problems. During singing the Aarti, I would just give all these problems to the divine beings that I'm worshipping through the Aarti. And I would say, look guys, I cannot handle this anymore by myself. You please take over, and I will try not to stand in the way. And then people around me start changing. Situations start solving in a very simple and fast way. And I had no idea how is that. It was a magic for me. You know, the life quality becomes something completely different. So I was in a business. I was signing very valuable contracts with the big companies in Asia, and I had a lot of practical issues, and but it just solved itself. And it was like all something that I'm doing outside, but inside it seemed as if I am like in my divine dimension. And really, when I was singing Arti every morning and every evening, I felt as if I am not that much inside of my ego, you know, as if I am quite egoless. That was my personal perception. But some of my friends told me that I look like I'm on a very heavy drugs because I was smiling all the time and having these shiny eyes, not talking much. And I started to forget some practical things. So I felt I'm not grounded enough. So then I started to sing Arti only once a day in order to balance a little bit this strong spiritual energy with this very detailed and demanding life, you know, practical life. And that was kind of a good balance for me. And then I visited some ashrams. I was thinking, you know, that I would love to speak about Babaji and his teachings to everybody. So I visited the ashrams, Babaji ashram in Riferat in Germany, in Holland, and I visited regularly for 3-4 years there. And it happened that in that period it was a 25-year anniversary of Holland ashram. It was 20th anniversary of German ashram. They were all these very special. It was the first next generation gathering event from JHO Association. So there were a lot of these kind of events that I could meet people and understand better the situation. And I was thinking, oh, it would be nice because Babaji say we have to build ashrams in our own countries. I was working on the idea of building the ashram, and I was thinking naively that I will just share Babaji teaching with my few very close friends, and we will just do it, you know. And then I learned in these other Babaji temples, I learned to do Arti Puja. And I decided to do Arti Puja with the Murti once a week in my home. Well, it was, I wanted like to make a little center or to have a special space, but I didn't, you know, feel that I want to invest or I have to invest specially in that alone. And it happened then that I found money on the street, you know, like €100 I found on the street. And and I understood it never happened. You know, I understood that is a support. Okay, I will print, copy all the books and materials of Babaji. I will distribute to people. I will speak to people about it, and I will do it in my home, where I can do it in like a living room, similar to this. And then some people start coming to the weekly Arti, and from the time, and I bought one Ganesh Murti in the Holland ashram. There were other murtis, but I saw this small Ganesh, and I took this Ganesh, and then the person who was in the ashram asked me, why did you choose Ganesh? I said, I just feel this way. He said, that's very good, because Ganesh can take you anywhere you want. And I was just, my automatic thought is, please take me to Haidakhan. Yeah. And then when I started to do Arti Puja, the energy in the apartment and in the building completely changed. It was just physically the same place. It was absolutely not the same place anymore. And it was so pure. Everybody who would enter would feel that. And there were friends that came to the Arti and they told me they were in a very, very difficult situations in life, with the very sick parents, or they had personally some health issues. And they told me later that this Arti and this Puja helped them to stay strong and to go over all these problems. So I discovered the strength of Puja then, because I was not into rituals before. I was doing like Buddhist Zen meditations, things that there is no form, there is no murtis, there are no pujas, there is nothing. And then I started to love puja, really to love, you know. And so it became the part of my daily life. Art became part of my daily life. And when I was in a five-star hotels where you know, okay, you have everything, but I will read arty. I had my arty book always with me in the plane, in the train, in the hotel, in everywhere. And then I was waiting to see what is my next journey, and I was just thinking how to make this structure of life in order to be able to go to Haidakhan for the longer time. And once the top manager of our company, there were 6 of us, and he asked everybody, what would you do if you would have free 6 months of your life? And then the guys were saying, oh, I would do, you know, to research the new applications in the IT industry. I was in the IT. And the other one said something similar. And I said, well, I would love to go to one very special place and to stay there for 6 months, and whatever I realize after 6 months, I will just do in my life. I will just accordingly change my life. And they all found it very strange. So in this everyday life, my quality of my life changed a lot. I did all the outer things well, and everything went very well until one moment, 3-4 years, when everything stopped from the material level. I could not succeed to do even the basic things that I did before, and I put a lot of energy. It is like you are running in one place, or you have the engine running without the speed. You know, you just have this motor running, and I felt, oh, this is so strange. And then it happened that company decided to sell, and I was fired, like with many other people. And I realized it's a moment, now or never, you know, to make a complete change and to go to Haidakhan for 1 year, and then to see what will happen. And then I went to Haidakhan, and it happened that I just realized that that is my life, that I want to live that life. Well, I believe that they have to run for their careers and everything in life, because it's not possible to be interested in anything else until you complete what you wish for. So if there is a big wish, you have to go through this wish and to complete these wishes on the one side. On the other side, I think that what can be done in that process is that at the same time would be very good to go to nature as much as possible, would be very good to limit the presence on the mobile phones and computers as much as possible, and leave a little bit more natural space in life, you know. Because this gives the energy and the feeling that there is something else in life as well to be interested in. And I also think it's good for young people to explore everything that is spiritual, or that is going in the direction of broadening the consciousness, of deepening the love for other people, and developing this feeling of unity, friendship with other people, making the situation with mother, father, and family as best as possible, working on these relationships in a good way. I think this is creative. Whatever people do, these things are the things that could mean a lot to enhance the quality of life. Truth, simplicity, and love. And this is like something that many people translate in different ways, because it can be, I mean, maybe it has different aspects. But what I understood is that the truth is that we are the divine being, that we are not our personalities, and that is the truth. It's not about, oh, this is blue and this is red. It's not about that kind of truth. And then simplicity is, you know, that you are not much in your mind, that you are basically seeing things fresh, like outside of your own box. We would say look outside the box, and then you see, you can then see like the most simple and easy solution for everything. And it also means that we don't need so many material things in life for ourselves, that we can live more simple and have much more time and energy for other things that matter more. And this is something I learned in Haidakhan, because in Haidakhan the life is simple. And I learned how many things I didn't need while I lived the city life, you know. But it's hard to realize if you don't get into the experiment to live simple life one period of time and to understand the difference. And love is something that is on a human level. So love means that we understand that we are humans, that we have compassion, that we have seva for other people, that is not just it's not for our own interest only. And yeah, this is the love we have to nourish, like you do. Bole Baba Ki Jai.